Welcome to What a Bit. Today I have some news that might motivate me to move to New York State. New York introduced a bill that will decriminalize sex workers. Now this is pretty shocking and random. Maybe I've been in the dark, but I haven't really seen that many people advocate for sex workers. Well, not nearly as a passionate movement like the legalization of marijuana, which by the way, I'm totally against because if it does become legal, I'll lose my part-time job. Especially when Walmart starts selling it, I'll have to resort being a sex worker again. And to be honest, I'm not really good at, handiwork. This statewide bill is backed by a coalition of more than 30 organizations across LGBTQ, racial justice, and immigrant rights, with support from Senator Julia Salzer even saying, "Sex work is work. It should not be criminalized by the state." I don't know why she has such a seductive voice, but this is truly amazing. Sex workers have always been in the shadows, almost like the boogeyman of our society. We know exists, but we choose to ignore and most just accept it as this vile and low act. But I have to disagree on that. I've always found it strange that prostitution was illegal. I mean, you have two adults, or three, or four, you get my point, that perform an activity that, let's face it, we all do, or at least want to do, yet it's illegal? So it's telling adults not to put body parts into other body parts. Oh wait, no, that's not it. It's legal to have sex, right? I mean, as long as the other person consents, right? But once I pull out the Benjamins, it suddenly becomes illegal? Have you guys ever been at the store and bought food, and when you put your credit card in the machine, it asks you if you would like to donate money to some form of charity? Isn't that a form of prostitution? Just without the sex? I mean, what happens if you meet a woman that needs money for, let's say, food or whatever, and you put your card in the woman? Isn't that giving to charity in a way? Possibly even better. Okay, maybe that's not the best metaphor, but I think Cecilia has a really good point. She's a former sex worker. She said it best. Criminalization kills our community. And criminalizing buyers hurts us too. How are you going to help me by cutting my income? I said this before with drugs, but this criminalization of sex workers isn't about helping or protecting people. It's about attacking people. Sex workers will always be a thing as long as blood is flowing in our bodies, no matter how hard you try criminalizing it. So instead of making it into this dangerous job, how about you legalize it so sex workers can be protected, making it more safe? Hell, how about you even tax it? Give the money to schools, which will educate kids so they don't have to resort to being a sex worker when they grow up. According to a national poll in collaboration with Data for Progress in May, found 56 of respondents support decriminalizing sex work and just 17% oppose it. The poll found the remaining 27% were neutral or didn't know how they felt. Okay, let me talk to the 27% and the 17% who are neutral or just they don't like it. 99.999999999% of all of us are prostitutes. We all work for someone. We all do what the person says, the one higher above. We all have to suck up and please the boss for the Benjamins. We're all having sex for money, just in a metaphorical sense, in a more professional way, if you want to say it like that. If anything, sex work is more honest. It's more clear. It's more real. Instead of the mask we all put on in the morning. You know the mask I'm talking about. The one we put on so we're not out of line and we appease the ones who are writing the checks to us. The mask that controls what we really want to do and what we really want to see. The regular 9-to-5 jobs are nothing more than a boring version of sex, just without the orgasm or fun. And it's a lot longer. Let me also talk about something that you really don't often hear. I feel making prostitution illegal is discrimination against ugly people or socially inept people. I know it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm being serious. There are people out there that have difficulties finding a partner due to whatever reason. Could be because they have a body disfigurement, social anxiety, or they're just really ugly. Yeah, I know. Everyone is beautiful and everyone is brave and strong. Looks don't matter. It's all about personalities, blah, blah, blah. But let's take the VR headsets out of our eyes for just 1 second and let's look at reality. People out there have difficulties. And sometimes those difficulties were handed to them by the roll of the dice of genetics. And sex workers don't just give sex to some people. They give a form of intimacy, a form of being wanted, a form of being loved. And saying those kinds of people don't have the right to bisexual encounters give me the impression that 27% and the 17% don't understand nor have that problem. Being lonely can be extremely psychologically damaging. Being lonely for years and years and not having the right to have any intimacy because you've had some bad luck when it comes to genetics or whatever reason it could be. Let me give you an extreme example. Look at Elephant Man. Zoom in his face. You're telling me he shouldn't have the right to pay for sex? Look at this poor guy. You're telling me he shouldn't pay for sex? You think he just can go out and get the tang? What's funny about all this is the hypocrisy. Most of these politicians that write these bills that prevent sex workers are nothing more than a bunch of freaky dudes. Tell me what's worse, paying for sex or using your power to get a BJ? I'm looking at you, Bill Clinton. Politicians hate it when you pay money for sex, but they love it when they pay it with power. Anyways, what I want most out of all this is reality shows. Why? Well, I don't know if you guys ever heard about this show HBO used to run called Cat House, but it was set in Nevada in a ranch. And it was a reality show about sex workers working at the bunny ranch. I used to watch it as a kid because I was always fascinated on the perspective of a woman sex worker. Nah, I'm messing with you. It was the sex scenes. But if the country decriminalizes sex work, maybe I can create my own version of the show. One that'll appeal to the LGBT crowd. Something different. Maybe with guys. And call it Doghouse. I wonder what that would look like. Anyways, that's all for today for What a Bit. And I hope I catch you again at ccn.com.